different. So I started my day behind this car, showing a picture of it, and now I'm ending my day in front of it. Sign that says this. And this is extensive because I looked yesterday and it was a bird's eye view of myself at the register, and so when that occurred, I saw like this triangle of a different thing that was ostensibly evidence too. And this is why I was saying that the curtains are scandalous when you have a truck and it's like this snow bin behind me. It hides stuff that are on camera, especially triangles that are seemingly scaresome. So what if that happens every day? Wouldn't that be concerning? Absolutely, and you should be able to know. As if an Amber Alert needed a different way of having a program. Compare and contrast a crime scene behind me like I did this morning, and looks like I might be doing again tomorrow morning, because I sure as hell know that guy's probably going to be there. Been there every night for the last 2 weeks. Like trash. Roll the credits, thanks for watching. Yu-Gi-Oh! Like move cards differently and throw them. And when they throw these ostensibly tops, it's a different anime show. And a kid wanted to do that once, so I was like, what the heck? These are dinosaurs, and I guess that's how you play with toys. But how you have them be silicone is different than plastic if they're metal. How many things are one or the other? We can compartmentalize both as everything. Roll the second credits. So in the Great Deception in Mortal Kombat, it happens when the combatants of Earthrealm were on a sailboat with Raiden going to Shang Tsung's island. The same way that King Kong happened. So imagine the King Kong movie, and so if something leaves us manual, or basically manualing every point of contact you hit on the ground. I was trying to explain that with like cement breaking, but in perturbation theory, to know like what grain wasn't pressed right is like quantum gravity, and we don't know that, and that's why Lee Smolin said there's no such thing as symmetries on the quantum scale. And that's probably disgusting. It's probably why crime exists. Because in the Bible, it's like you can see where these angels were shooting fire, and they did it in like this gate. And so if that's equal to Icarus's wings burning with any aircraft, it's basically like, since the points of articulation is not on the ground, like a bomb in the air is twice as bad because it's like a bird. Subtitles are interesting because they come at the last part of any motion prior to them. Movies, if these were 2 different credits, because they have to be consistent. And so if I was to show a picture of someone that was derogatory, you would have to know that it was surely them. Like wanted posters in Wild Wild West is the basic reason why anyone got handled if they were out of state, because they didn't have telephones for power lines. But now they've got power lines for telephones on boxes that aren't even telephones. So in perturbation theory, it's basically what Chronica mastered with all her grains of sand. If you cross over the movie, not Clash of the Titans, but the one with Perseus, at the start there's like this, all the gods and goddesses are inside of the box like Zeus. And so this is where Chronica is like one of the weapons. And the other one was the boat, and that's the middle of the story, and he ended up with the Manitois, because the guy was trying to chase him with that. Perseus was trying to chase the bow, and he ended up in the Manitois. Which is kind of equal to like what hell was if the universe was made out of 1 gram of material at a singularity. The angels would have marked off a gate in the Bible, the same door to Eden when it was closed. These angels later swoop down, and you can tell in physics what it would look like. And in the movie Immortals, that's its name, the angels in the Bible, it says like this dimension of like 12 feet by 12 feet, and it's made fire everywhere. So that would have been ostensibly the box that the movie The Immortals start out with all the guys in the box, basically the gate. So, chewing tobacco that isn't a snooze, if it tastes like salt, you probably should spit it out. It was like having a guest, and he said, was a Jewish guy, and he lives in like New Zealand, and he was like, it'd take 9 minutes to set up a tabernacle, it's the temple and the altar that they want. I'm like, oh my god. The one time I heard on John's show that there was a guy in China who was a pig and a human, and he was like, kill me, because it was the actual eugenics. The same as the door to something, if it has like a giant gate behind the door, it's basically like a square, right? And that's what the movie was Ashton Kutcher and Cabin Fever was essentially. Along with fire, that could have been in the Bible multiple times. Outside of the triangle is the most suspicious thing other than those. No, it's not a brand of a different thing that's too far to see. Police with their lights on and it not sounding or strobing. I've never seen this in my entire life. We'll play it smooth. Roll the dramatic music, because here you would think it's a fire truck. But on the other side of the monolith reveals something was used for something that was against the Constitution. And that's why the Second Amendment is not for deer. It's for one thing. A car like this one would have a camera on it. Second monolith. Oh, so just as like a door can be a gate in a movie called Immortals, it's no different than what Gandalf struck inside of a rock, another door. So how many of these are just monoliths around? Augment in, cut and paste out a picture of what you think a Mortal Kombat sailboat ride with Raiden to Shang Tsung's island would look like. Is Nightwolf on the boat? He's the only one who survived with Raiden and MK11 from Earthrealm. Whenever I see an object, I have like a really high percentage rate of knowing ahead of time if it's made in China, just because I can tell the make of things. Just like if I'm confident that I know a person's a certain lineage, I'm like 90% accurate at asking the person if they're that and them actually saying yes. Which isn't racist or pontificating if you're correct that much. Because the one way of knowing if I was just doing that and they were saying yes because I was intimidating is because each time I did it they were genuinely surprised that I knew that's what their parents, grandparents, ancestries came from. So I listen to legal advice on the radio, and by advice I mean stuff that tells you what's going on and you can believe it or not. It's kind of dangerous, but at least it allows some research, and in researching the most important thing is that there can't be an audit trail. Then it's a problem. So there's audit trails, which I kept thinking call records of every time you use the phone. If someone hacks that with AI and you can make anyone's voice on the planet for a video call message, someone can call you and do something bad if they use a telephone improperly, and you would never know the difference. So just as like a door can be a gate in the Bible and a movie called Immortals, it's no different than what Gandalf struck inside of a rock, another door. So how many of these are just monoliths around?